Welcome to Smoke Signals, everyone. I'm Matt Montgomery, along with head football coach Wayne Coleman. Jacksonville played Nacogdoches last week at Tomato Bowl. Coach, not a great result. You go down 27-14. One of those games where, when you look at the stats, the balance was, sometimes the balance is off, but it was really way off last week. I mean, you just could not run the ball. Passing was okay, but running the ball was it just wasn't there.
Yeah, it was tough. They're big up front. We're not full strength at running back. We've got guys out there that are playing at about 90% health, and that's tough to do.
Of course, Devin didn't get to practice till about middle of the week, and getting him back going and everything. He actually played some in the backfield as well. But how do you deal with the injuries like everybody else is doing this time of year, and trying to get more balance on your offense?
You really got to be smart how you practice. You don't want kids that are at 90% kind of working their way back to get hurt more in practice. You got to try to get them to the game on Friday night as healthy as you can, and then you can't give them the workload that you need to give them. We need to give Mallard the ball 15 carries, but right now his ankles won't hold up for that, and of course JT is still only about 75%, so he's not getting any carries.
In the fourth quarter, there was still a shot. I mean, you closed the gap to 21-14, and there was a chance there. You didn't get the onside kick. But there was a moment there where it felt like the momentum had swung your way.
Yeah, it did. And we had a couple chances at turnovers that we just didn't get. And we thought we had one, and they didn't give it to us. But
some tough calls, too.
Yeah, it didn't go our way. It's frustrating because the kids are playing so hard to force those turnovers. I mean, they're playing their tails off, and the defensive kids really kept fighting and kept us in the game.
If I had to pick out a particular unit in District 9 5A Division II that seems to be dominating ball games, it's got to be the defensive lines. Marshall, Pine Tree, and then last week Nacogdoches, and this week you will see Texas High. It seems like the D lines are really strong in this district this year.
Yeah, that is. That seems like everybody's got one guy that stands out on the defensive line. Of course, Texas High has several. 95 is a big defensive tackle, and of course, number 3 is the big defensive end with all the Division I offers. Yeah, they're loaded, and a lot of teams in District and East Texas have got big defensive linemen.
And again, alluding to running the football, the inability to run the football with all the injuries, time of possession. I mean, you guys have been winning time of possession for several ball games, but the last couple you haven't been able to do that. I think Nac had the ball for almost 5 more minutes than you did.
Yeah, and that's what's going to happen when you can't run the ball. And just try to supplement a run game. You're trying to use short passing game to turn those into your runs. And if you're not completing a high percentage of those, then you're definitely going to lose the time of possession.
Several highlights in the game last week against Nacogdoches. Let's take a look at those right now. Of course, this is Ryan's pass to Isaiah. He makes a nice little move here and gets up the field to the 1.
Yeah, a great play by him. Of course, that's, we don't look at that as a running play, but that's a ball thrown behind the line of scrimmage, and Mallard makes a good play with it.
Boy, this angle here, you can really see the route right here by Devin, and Ryan puts it in the right spot.
Yeah, beautiful double move there by Devin.
At 4th and 1, and here comes Coda and Darian. They wrap him up, but it's Caden making the tackle here.
Yep, and those guys ran to the ball well the second half.
And here's Devin out of the backfield now as a running back with all the injuries. Nice run.
Yeah, we're trying to, find ways to get healthy bodies back there.
Physical run here by Calvin Bryan after the catch. I know this is what you want to see out of him.
Yeah, no doubt. And he's done that all year for us. It's just a matter of getting him going sometimes.
And this is just, boy, Coach, if you could just draw these up like this, what a beautiful pass and catch route by Cash Bearden.
Yeah, and that's a big play for Cash. We've been working him more and more at receiver, and it's good to see him do something like that on a Friday night.
So Texas High at Grimm Stadium. I've always thought that was such an appropriate name for their stadium, Grimm Stadium. Texarkana ranked some polls 7, some polls 9, depending on what you look like. This is a good football team, but I just keep thinking about that Hallsville game and how Hallsville was over, and Hallsville was in it until the end. So I know that has to make your team feel like, hey, it's possible. You can go in there. It's not necessarily impossible. Talk about Texas High. We know how good they are in defense. What else do they do well?
They're just so steady on the offensive side. They don't make mistakes. They've got good players, and they don't beat themselves. Offensive line's really good, and an incredible running back.
Stewart's a good runner.
He's good, and he broke out against us a little bit last year, and we played them tough last year for a long time. We had some good drives on offense. We need to do that again. We need to be more efficient in our short passing game.
And what Texas High has kind of added to Stewart is their quarterback. I mean, he can run the ball. He had 144 yards rushing last week against Pine Tree, so he can scoot too.
He can. He's an athlete. He had played a lot of games last year for him, started for him a bunch of games. So he's got experience, and he just throws the ball. They've got good athletes at every position. So when you're trying to load up and stop Stewart from running the ball and he play actions, you're on an island back there on the back end. You got to hold up and try to make the play.
So let's go to the Texas High defense. Pine Tree did not get a first down until the third quarter. You look at stuff like that, and then again, referring to the Hallsville game, you say, well, how did that happen? What does Texas High do besides that good guys up front, linebackers, defensive backs, how they cover, how they do?
Well, the thing is, like Pine Tree's going to line up in two backs with a tight end, and they're going to try to, play power run football, which is what Texas High wants to play against. And we have the ability, like Hallsville, to spread things out and make them cover the field. And so we've got to get guys out of the box if we want to run the ball and be more consistent with some of our controlled passing game.
And when you go into ball games, especially this late in the year where there's so much tape on everybody, I know that you want to maybe think, well, maybe this is what they're going to come out in, so this is what we'll do. How many different schemes do you have that you don't tell me what they are, but how many do you have in this time of the year when everybody's doing that?
You've got enough to be able to say, okay, they're running a straight man coverage defense. We can do this. We've already done it this year. Or they're running man free. We can do this. So we've got things for everything. Our quick passing game is made for a loaded box, people that load up to stop the run. And kind of that's what's been hurting us lately, I think, is with the banged up running backs and our diminished running game. Now then they can kind of sit back and play the quick passing game and dare us to run the ball, and we're struggling to do that. So we're kind of trying to prepare for all of it. There's things we haven't seen this year, and we still prepare for those. So we just got to be ready.
It's like you tack at this level. If it doesn't work, you go to this level, and then you go to this level. So offensively, I know your team has really struggled protecting Ryan. How will you move him around to enable him to maybe get some more time to throw the ball?
Well, that's exactly what you've got to do. You've got to move him around and not let the defense get a beat on where he's at. Sometimes what you got to prevent is keep getting caught in 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12.
Right.
Okay, because 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12, obviously.
You got to win first down.
Yeah, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12, what does the defense know? Well, they know the ball's probably not coming out quick now. It's probably a 3 to 4 second pass protection, and now then they get the choice of pin their ears back and come get you, or play prevent, and you don't want them to be comfortable in either one of those.
Well, it's a tall task. Talk about keys to the game in Texarkana Friday night.
We need our defense to keep doing what they've been doing. Keep getting better every week, and keep us in the game until we find our rhythm. And hopefully we come out and we've got a rhythm off the get-go. We've done that some. Come out early in games and just drive the field and do some stuff. And we've got some things that we think we can do offensively against them that we haven't done this year. So let's see what that looks like early in the game.
Well, it's Jacksonville versus Texas High, the game at Texarkana. Long road trip, Jacksonville on the road. So we'll see you here on JHS-sports.com. We'll be online at 6:45. For head coach Wayne Coleman, I'm Matt Montgomery. We'll see you next time right here on Smoke Signals.